In 2008, Evgeni Malkin and the Penguins walked away from the Stanley Cup final broken. He finished that playoff run with 22 playoff points and nothing to show for it but scars. The following season, Malkin did not just respond, he erupted, posting 113 regular season points and claiming the league's scoring crown. How did a wounded star transform into the National Hockey League's unstoppable force and set the groundwork for a playoff run? So jaw-dropping, people wondered if the 2009 version of Malkin was even human. The answer starts with a wound, a warning, and a hunger that would not die. June 4, 2008 ended in silence. The Detroit Red Wings celebrated on the Penguins' home ice, while Pittsburgh's bench sat frozen. Malkin, just 21, had given everything, 22 points in 20 playoff games, but as he drifted through the handshake line, the only thing waiting was disappointment. The cup was so close, it might as well have been on another planet. In the locker room, the air was thick with defeat. Helmets dropped to the floor. Jerseys peeled off and were tossed aside, sweat and effort suddenly meaningless. Reporters circled, but the answers were all the same. Not enough, not this year. For Malkin, the pain was personal. He had played through the grind of spring, night after night, chasing the biggest prize in hockey. He had watched the Red Wings lift the trophy he wanted, and heard the cheers for someone else. The numbers, 22 playoff points, meant nothing when the season ended in heartbreak. The core of the team, Crosby, Fleury, Letang, felt it too. They were young, talented, and now marked by a loss that would not fade. The city had waited 16 years for another cup, but the window felt fragile, and the weight of falling short pressed on every shoulder. That summer, the memory of the handshake line did not disappear. It followed Malkin back to Russia, into every training session, every lonely skate. The image of Detroit's celebration replayed in his mind, fueling a quiet anger. He was no longer just a supporting act. The loss carved a scar, a reminder that talent alone was not enough. The Penguins had seen the mountain and slipped at the summit. For Malkin, the only answer was to climb again, hungrier and sharper, refusing to let the pain fade. The wound became a warning, one that would shape everything that came next. October brought a clean sheet and a new mission. Evgeni Malkin laced up for his third NHL season, but what followed was anything but routine. From opening night, he played as if every shift was a response to the pain of last June. The numbers started piling up, not just for a week, not just for a month. Every single night, Malkin was on the score sheet. By December, he was leading the league in points, skating past names like Ovechkin, Thornton, and even Crosby. It was not just about goals, though 35 of those is no small feat. It was the 78 assists, the way he threaded passes through traffic, made teammates better, and turned broken plays into highlight reels. He played all 82 games, refusing to miss a night. Each time the Penguins needed a spark, Malkin delivered. 4-point nights against the Islanders, 3 assists in a comeback win over the Maple Leafs. He did not just rack up points in blowouts. He drove the offense in close games, tight checking battles, and back-to-backs on the road. Opponents tried to shadow him, double-team him, wear him down. It did not matter. Malkin finished the regular season with 113 points, more than anyone else in the NHL. The Art Ross Trophy, normally reserved for the game's biggest names, belonged to him at age 22. The Penguins as a team finished with 99 points, good for the 4th seed in the East. They were not a powerhouse on paper, but with Malkin at the wheel, they always had the edge. The way he played, it felt like the ice tilted every time number 71 jumped over the boards. The league took notice. Defenders started giving him extra space, goalies braced for the unexpected. But the numbers kept climbing. Malkin was not just filling the stat sheet, he was announcing that Pittsburgh's window was not closing, not with him in the lineup. Every stat line told the same story: 35 goals, 78 assists, 113 points. But the real warning was what those numbers could not capture, the sense that Malkin was just getting started. The regular season became a message. If this was what he could do in 82 games, what would happen when the stakes got higher and the lights got brighter? The first round brought the Flyers, and with them, all the old grudges. Philadelphia jumped out to leads, tried to rough up Pittsburgh's skill, and in Game 6, built a 3-0 wall on home ice. Most teams fold there. Malkin didn't blink. He cut through the noise, ignited the comeback with a power play goal, and by the end of the night, the Penguins had stormed back to win the game in the series, 4-2. The Flyers crowd, so loud for so long, fell silent as Malkin and the Penguins walked off their ice. Next came Washington, a heavyweight bout built around Crosby versus Ovechkin, but Malkin owned his moments. In Game 5, with the series tied and the pressure at its peak, he drew a penalty in overtime. On the power play, he found space, took a pass, and ripped a shot that beat Varlamov. Game over. Pittsburgh took the series lead. The Capitals had no answer for his reach, his vision, his refusal to let go of the puck. 7 games later, the Penguins moved on, 4-3, and the so-called rivalry had a new name at the top of the score sheet. By the time the conference final opened against Carolina, Malkin was a storm. Game 2, May 21, he scored 3 times, including a spinning backhand that left defenders frozen and the Hurricanes' bench shaking their heads. That hat trick, his first in the playoffs, felt like a warning to the whole league. In 4 games, he piled up 6 goals and 3 assists. Carolina never had a chance. The sweep was complete, and Malkin was operating on a different level, making the extraordinary look routine. Detroit opened the final with 2 quick blows, 3-1 and 3-1, and for a moment, it felt like last year's heartbreak all over again. The Penguins, battered and facing a 0-2 hole, had to return home with everything on the line. But in Pittsburgh, the story flipped. In Game 3, the Penguins broke through, winning 4-2. In Game 4, another 4-2 win tied the series. Detroit answered with a 5-0 rout in Game 5, but the Penguins refused to fold. Game 6 brought a 2-1 victory, and the Cup would be decided in Game 7 at Joe Louis Arena, the same ice where Pittsburgh's dreams had ended the year before. Early in the second period, with the score locked at 0, Malkin found the puck on his stick. He waited, then slid a pass to Max Talbot, who buried it 1 minute 13 seconds into the period. That assist set the tone. Talbot scored again, and the Penguins clung to their lead through wave after wave of Detroit pressure. When the final horn sounded, Pittsburgh's bench erupted. The Cup was theirs for the first time in 17 years. Malkin finished the final with 3 goals and 5 assists, 8 points in 7 games. Over the entire playoffs, 14 goals, 22 assists, 36 points in 24 games. He led all scorers in goals, assists, and points. The Conn Smythe Trophy went to him, and he became the first Russian-born player ever to win the playoff Most Valuable Player award. 1 year after heartbreak, he delivered the ultimate answer. The drought was over, and Malkin's fingerprints were everywhere. In today's NHL, playoff dominance on this scale is almost a myth. As parity rises and stars spread across teams, Malkin's 36 playoff points remain unmatched since 2009. His run is not just history, it is a reminder that sometimes greatness truly breaks the mold. What is your favorite Malkin moment? Let us hear it below.